Life at the pond was peaceful, almost too peaceful for the baby duckling who just couldn't resist stirring things up. Bright yellow, with soft fluffy feathers and eyes full of mischief, he was the youngest of Mother Duck's brood. But where his brothers and sisters preferred spending their days swimming calmly or catching insects, this little rascal had a knack for pulling pranks. Whether it was sneaking up on his siblings to nudge them off balance or hiding behind reeds to give a playful quack that startled them, he was the self-proclaimed duckling of laughs. Mother Duck, ever patient, would chuckle at his antics and warn him, "Little one, be careful where your pranks lead you. You wouldn't want to wander off too far." Of course, the baby duck always promised to behave, with a little smirk that said otherwise. One sunny morning, as the family waddled to the edge of the pond, the baby duck found the perfect opportunity for a prank. His siblings were nibbling on some water plants, completely distracted. Quietly, he slipped behind a clump of tall grass, then gave out the loudest quack he'd managed yet. The startled ducklings scattered, slipping into the water in a flurry of feathers. Laughing uncontrollably, the baby duck pushed the joke a step further by waddling away, pretending to vanish into thin air. Mother Duck called for him twice, then 3 times. But when it was clear he wasn't coming back, the duckling realized something alarming. He actually had wandered off. In the midst of the dense reed field, he'd followed a path he couldn't retrace. And worse, it wasn't just reeds anymore. It was the edge of the forest, the dark, unfamiliar jungle that none of the ducks had ever dared to approach. His fluffy feathers trembled as shadows loomed over him. The chirping birds, rustling leaves, and faint growls from the jungle felt far less inviting than the warm pond. Back at the water, Mother Duck quickly realized something was wrong. The siblings, despite being annoyed by his pranks, were equally worried and rallied with her to figure out where he might be. The family waddled out, scanning the grass, calling his name over and over, their little hearts racing. Meanwhile, the baby duck stumbled further into the jungle, frightened and alone, until he heard something, his family's familiar quacking in the distance. His mother's voice stood out, firm and loving, calling for him to come home. With all the courage he could muster, he chirped as loudly as his tiny lungs would allow. The sound reached them. "He's over there!" shouted the eldest duckling, pointing toward the shadowy edge of the reeds. The family quickly rallied and formed a line, moving together as one united flock to rescue their mischievous baby brother. When they finally found him, huddled by a clump of ferns, Mother Duck scooped him up in her wings. "Little one," she murmured softly, her voice full of relief, "I told you to be careful where your pranks lead you. But no matter how far you wander, we'll always be here to bring you home." His siblings huddled close to him, their usual bickering replaced with nuzzles of affection.
The baby duck finally smiled. Not a mischievous smirk, but a grateful, heartfelt smile. He promised no more pranks for today.
Together, the family headed home, feeling more connected than ever.